Boy, doesn't it feel good to finally hit my parlay. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Here's another fun fact. I think I can literally see the future. I'm sorry. It's straight. I think what happened was, I think I was so much calmer last chapter, not only because of when I was recording, but also because I had to wait so long, and I kind of already had it spoiled for me. It's like I really wish I could have gotten that reaction fresh off the press to y'all. But regardless, I've been thinking about it, y'all. I read the comments on literally yesterday's video. It's not even last week's video because I'm recording because it dropped so soon. Like, I don't know, I was thinking this till Tuesday to drop, but it's here, so I'm not gonna react to it. But with that being the case, I don't know. I was reading the comments. Y'all were explaining to me how because like last video I was like, my parlay didn't hit, kind of sorta, because it didn't really work in a way. But then y'all got in the comments and explained how the parlay still didn't got a hit. And overall, the only thing I didn't call was the progression to the regression thing. That's the only thing I didn't call. Everything else, I might as well be Kanashiro Sensei. Like low-key, your boy might as well be Kanashiro Sensei. On the low, I may just be him. I may just be that little weird frog thing that he draws in some of the voice. That may just be me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because I basically called the entire plot. But with that being the case, that was so quiet. That was so quiet. But of course, it's peak luck, peak every week. So you know I gotta pre-draw it. And like, come on. This is obviously the reaction to breakdown chapter. Well, last chapter ended off with he's like hitting and I know his knees hurt. Like, have y'all ever slid on turf or even on grass? But like, even turf, that stuff burns. Like, especially if you had any sort of momentum. Like, if you've ever like fallen while running and slid to a stop, that's not fun. It's worse to do it on concrete or regular track. And I'm not even talking about like track, because for at least back in my high school, we didn't have the professional like fancy track while I was there. We only got like that like soft springy track later. We had that hard, solid, older than the school itself kind of tracks. Like, whenever you fell because you tripped or something, or someone tripped you, or you bumped into somebody, man, it hurt to slide. But even on turf, it don't get much better. Trust me, your knees are skinned. So while the end of last chapter was mad epic, mad clean, I know Hagi's knees are hurting like crazy. But let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into chapter 294, Champion. Look at everybody raising. This looks closer to the Moore's art. I don't know. But then again, that's just like a multi-art style flag. Like, hold on. In fact, I had the perfect example of this. Because I was literally just... Oh, wait. Maybe... Is it not in this one? It'll not be in this one. Well, I mean, it's kind of sort of... Wait, is it in this one? I don't think it is. It's not in this one. But essentially, like, for reference... Let me take a look at a book, reading Rainbow type beat. It's like... Actually, no. Do I have two characters of the same art style? I try to do one. Well, essentially, for reference, this is my own art style. Like legit, just I took a real person reference and was like, I bet, and I just redrew it in my own art style. And then this is me just straight ripping in art style. Like, this is me just taking the Kagurabachi art style wholesale and just doing that. So like, there definitely is cases of that. Like, artists can have multiple styles, so. And once again, that's me versus my style versus trying to take somebody else's style. So I'm assuming Nomura Sensei just has like a very deep bag, or he has the assistants do it. But every single time I see these what on the earth? Why is my cursor like that? But every time I see these oh, I never noticed that. Huh. That's a weird, it's just because I'm only noticing this now. I've tried to use my cursor to highlight things before. I never noticed. But at least for maybe it's just this one and it'll pop up on other things. My cursor's not popping up as I record. Interesting. But with that being the case, these not non-canon, but like these non-main character or named character blue design, they always look just off enough from Nomura's main art style that he does for the manga itself. I'm always like, who draws this? Because it can't be Nomura. But at the same time, artists do have multiple styles. But regardless, let me see. The world gets overturned with an explosive golden goal. The egoist, demon... Okay, here's my thing, right? I was about to hit the whole LeBron argument where, like, ultimately, when you're, like, you can glaze LeBron, but can you really? Like, this is from a guy who clearly doesn't follow sports nearly as much, but, like, you kind of can't glaze LeBron. when you describe his feats, it's just like, it sounds like glazing. It's literally just what the man did. So, like, is it really glaze, though? I was about to say, maybe but he's not on that level just yet. He's not on that level just yet. I would need him to win the U20 World Cup. I'd have to have him keep his promise. And I think I'll talk about that, and it's either in his own video or later, for, like, what I think the U20 World Cup will end in. I mentioned it before. I low-key want Isagi to lose, kind of, which is crazy to say. But, like, I don't know, like he should, like, if it really is, he wins the U20 World Cup, and then we go on to the real World Cup arc, and then boom, then manga's over, then that's one thing. Because, like, he's only 17, so technically he could have 2 runs on the World Cup arc, the U20 World Cup arc. The only issue is characters like Kaiser and Aiku are 19, so, like, a year passes and they're aged out. So, like, I feel like, I'm 50-50. I'll have to think about that more, but Isagi hasn't reached that level where I'd be like, calling him the Demon King ain't glaze, but that is some crazy glaze. Like Rin, I get it, bro. I get it. You fumbled back. Oh, that's something I'm meant to talk about. I'll wait. Maybe we'll get a bit further to the chapter and we'll see Rin. And I'll give it like 3 pages. If we don't see Rin, I'll talk about it then. But Rin is simultaneously the reason they almost won this game and a million duodecillion % the reason they lost this game. So, calling him the Demon King, not only is that an unorthodox amount of glaze Rin, but on top of that, man, you want to talk about a fumbled bag. But let's see. The world gets overturned with an explosive golden goal. The egoist, Demon King, who scored, devoted himself to victory. Yeah, he ran into that knee slide, bro. I know them things are burning. Like, I always say you never know how hard you move until you hit something. Like, typically, you move through the air all the time, you do this, you do that. But especially as a person who is small yet large. I'm only 2 feet tall, but trust me, I'm big enough to still hit things. I'd be moving, and I never realize how hard and heavy I step until I stub my toe on something. And it's like the most painful thing I've ever felt. It is just straight, undeniable, unrestricted agony every single time I hit something. Even when, like, I've done this before. Like, I'm right next to something off camera. So, like, I've swung my hands about and been, like, super duper expressive, and then, boom, like, beat my own hand. And I never realized how much force I move with until I do it. But Isagi isn't moving with a certain amount of force and then stopping. Yo, dripping as you scream at the top of your lungs, Isagi, that's kind of crazy. But, essentially, I know his knees are on fire, dog. Like, go slide right now. Even on something soft. Like, if there's a soft surface near you, if you have a rug or anything, go and slide on that rug. Your knees will not like you. So don't do it. Pencil does not endorse hurting yourself. Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. It's delicious. But, and you know what? Isagi earned it. Even if he is dripping like crazy, even if he went back to base, after he went back to, like, UI sign, after being an MUI, true MUI, he earned it, dog. Like, and here's the thing. I've even seen it, even the biggest Isagi haters I know. Like, once you explain, and admittedly, I think even the biggest Isagi haters, they knew it. They didn't really need to explain. But once you sit down and explain with them, as long as they're rational and not, like, rabid Isagi hate, hey, you know, I have characters I rabidly hate. But with it being the case, they kind of get it. Narratively, there was no other way this could have ended, and it would have been as satisfying. Isagi, if there's any character in the manga who earned the final goal, then you just, like, come on, it's my glorious legendary heroic Demon King. His name is so long. Now I gotta throw Demon King in there, but I do want to keep, like, the whole hero of Blue Lock motif. Like, they're clearly setting him up to be, like, the big bad villain, which is another reason why I low-key think he's gonna lose the U20 World Cup. I don't know. Once again, another video for another time. But I want to keep the hero aspect. But he's now being called the Demon. Like, if the narrator is calling him the Demon King, like, maybe I do gotta switch to that. But I'm glad we're keeping the king aspect to once again play off Kaiser's emperor, like king, emperor, divine, demon. Like we're doing crazy things right now with the naming scheme. Let's see. Okay, Isagi. The final goal, final of the Neo Edis League. The one who scored the final goal is Isagi Aichi. Okay. Oh, my son. I birthed you, Corona. I birthed you. I hope. Well, he'll be fine. I think. He's really the only character on the screen right now who's 50-50 for not making the top 23 is Iguri. But, like, especially with BM winning, I feel like he's safe. But the thing is, right? People ask me to do a top 23, so I don't know. It really depends. I think if I have to do it, if they don't drop it this chapter, I think I have to do it like this week. Squeeze out my own top 23 players. But like, off the top of my dome piece, like who, like, especially as a person who's come to respect Iguri more than I ever did before. With his performance in PXG, stopping Rin twice is huge. Especially considering that was where Rin was still playing logically enough, where he actually did want to score. So like, he was definitely pivotal. So like, I'm not even sure. Like, Kiori, that assist was crazy. It really depends. But technically, an assist is more valuable than a stop, I think, because typically you'll talk in like goal assist terms. So like, it really depends. I don't know. I'll whip up that top 23 list like right after this video, and then I'll probably squeeze out that video if we don't get it confirmed this chapter. Let's see. It's Yoichi Isagi, and in that moment. Oh, but yeah, everyone else here is safe. Like I was saying, I think Corona's fine. He has 2 assists. No. He has 1 assist under his belt, but he's done such a fantastic job facilitating. He already had a relatively high enough number. He was already in the top 23. Raichi also, I think he's gonna be fine. He doesn't have many, if any, like, off the top of my dome piece standout moments in this last year that this game has lasted. But still, I think he's done such a good job just being there. And sure, he may be like a clip merchant, as I've seen people call those who keep getting worked around defensively, but like, he's a really solid clip merchant. He's done enough. Hiyori is obviously fine. Like, he had an assist right at the start of this game. Did he? Was he the one that did do Splatoon Rally? I think it was him. I think he has the Uber's assist, and I think he has the one at the start of this game. Who helped he? Yeah. Well, I think it was Hiyori. So I think Hiyori has 2 assists. He's solid. He's fine. He was crazy defensively as well. As like, he should be fine. And all 3 of these characters are fine. And of course, Isai Yoichi. He's about to be number 1. Let's see. And in that moment, BM achieves total victory. I love it. I love how they're all so excited. Even Isagi's like, oh. But I'll admit though, especially like, and anyone who's competed in anything knows this. Oh, unless, because I know there are some people who are supremely confident in their abilities, and for good reason. Like, if you know you're like that, then you probably haven't worried. But as a person who is confident like that in some aspects, but not confident in other aspects, when you have those high intensity, top of the line moments where you know it's like straight 50-50 whether or not you succeed, like it is straight up, hey, you know what? It's left up to luck a little bit. Where like, you know, it could literally be a difference in like a second of reaction or 1 misplay. Like, for a recent example, I was running a money match with a friend where I know I shouldn't. It's wrong. And don't do this, folks. You really shouldn't be gambling, even if you're very confident in your skill. But I was running a 50 bean money match. And you may be like, 50 beans? That's not that crazy. It's crazy to me, alright? A bean is a bean, dog. Any bean is valuable. But it was a first to 10. We put 5 beans, essentially. Or technically 250 on each match. If we were both. Dog, it went 9-9. It went 9-9. We were just back and forth. Like, I had a solid streak where I won 3 in a row, and then he won 4. It was the most intense money match I've had in recent memory. And literally, as we sat, like, we literally put the controller down, because we were both 9-9. We both had 50 beans. 50 solid beans on the line. We sat down, and I literally sat there, and I was like, gotta focus in. Gotta lock in. We were playing mains the entire time. This isn't fighters, by the way. I wish we were like, we could have run it in Smash, but I was like, I'm not confident. I wasn't putting 50 beans on a Smash money match. I'm a little rusty. But like, I was in fighters. I was on my main team. I was like, I got, like, I was even half tempted to switch. I was half tempted to switch to one of my backup characters. So I was like, he knows me. He's read my entire game plan. I have to do this. And this is one of the rare times where your boy actually got 50 beans because I locked in hard enough. And when I tell you, I understand that feeling. That feeling where like, you just get, where you're like, oh, and you are kind of even blown away at the fact you did it. And clearly, you saw Hilochi, the way he's looking at his fist. He's like, he's freaking and geeking. Let's see. Charles, genuine disappointment in Charles, and genuine shock too. But you know what? He needed this. Ironically enough, I don't think Charles ever actually awoke this game. He's still very focused on his whole contrarian idealism, and I think that is something that Loki's gonna have to figure out how to deal with on his own. But I think this hefty, juicy, meaty humbling is something he needed, undeniably. And I think this is definitely gonna affect his game for the next time we see him. Presumably, we aren't gonna see him until like, we're not seeing Charles for another 200, 300 chapters after this. And that may sound crazy to say, but like, unless we really start speeding through, unless the pacing picks back up to like the moon, like we're going, like third selection pacing again, we're not seeing Charles forever. He's presumably like that final boss tier. We're gonna see him. We may see games of him or glimpses of his games as we progress to the 20 World Cup arc, but we probably are gonna see him for a while because I'm presuming he's gonna be part of the final boss team in France. Oh, I was about to say, he doesn't even matter. He's not counted in the top 23. Karasu, I think he also had arguably his best game in the series, especially with how it was explained to me a few chapters back, who knows, it may have been like half a year ago at this point, but he was specifically the one who had like manipulated the field so Zantetsu could run in and create like a crazy diversion, which I think led directly into Ren scoring. Karasu went crazy this game, defensively, offensively, all around. He was literally the, if Rin was the spear of BM, or not BM, of PXG, Karasu definitely was the shield. Like, he was there doing basically everything. He was the standout character outside of, like, the main trio of Rin, Shido, and Charles. And even then, I'd say by back half, especially with the Metavision unlock, Karasu was carrying even more, so he's definitely fine. He's in the top 23. Zantetsu, he's kind of 50-50. He didn't really do much this game. At least not from, like, nothing stand out off the top of my head. He had, like, his rush moments, but, like, he didn't really do anything crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't make it. But he's gotten so much focus in episode Nagi that I feel like it would be kind of weird to drop him off. Tokimitsu's crept. I think he's done. Like, there's, unless... No, he's done. He's cooked. Because he wasn't even in the top 23 before this match. He didn't do anything this match other than get clip farmed. And his only, like, actual notable thing that I remember off the top of my dome piece is getting clipped by my son, Corona, who's, like, a fifth of his size, and fouling Noel Noah. Two things that are not very pleasing to watch. Nanase, I think, is also kind of cooked. I mean, don't get me wrong, having another ambidextrous character would be cool, but he didn't really get much. Especially considering how much this match set him up as the guy to support Rin. Charles did that. And did it better. So, like, I think Nanase and Tokimitsu are both cooked. Zantetsu, he's a 50-50. Karasu, he's a lock. I think there's no way he doesn't. Ooh. Look at the... but you know what? Since I was talking about money matches, he devoured everything. Yeah, Kaiser, he ate you up. But whoa, it's BL. But would that be the case? I referenced the one recent money match where I won. Let me reference an older money match. It was another one, 1st to 10. You may be wondering, hey Pencil, why don't you run it in Smash Bros? Because I ran it in Smash Bros. And it's the reason how I was scared to run it again. I'll admit, it's gonna sound mad cowardly of me, but we ran a 1st to 10. It wasn't 50 beans that time. It was 25. But like he had offered the one that we just ran recently. It was like literally 2 weeks ago. The one we ran recently, it was very specifically like he gave me the option. He gave me the choice of like what you want to run it in. You want to run in Smash? Or you want to run it in Fighters? And very specifically, I chose in the last. But I chose my own fate essentially because he had said Smash. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I could have denied it or anything. But essentially, in that one, it was crazy top of the line 3 stocks 1st to 10. It took forever. But he got my number, bro. He got me. I can't even say I dragged it 9 to 9. He got me in. Like I think I may have taken 4 games off of him. But it took 4 games and he downloaded me. I think the thing is with Smash, even though I do have multiple characters that I play, typically once I lock into a set or like especially any money matches, we have a rule, at least in my friend group, that we don't switch for Smash specifically. Even though technically we should be allowed to, but you know, it's our own. We do these things to ourselves, all right? So I locked in my character, dog. And it just wasn't enough. I just couldn't cook that man. And admittedly, I definitely should have picked a better character. He played Mithra and Pyra. Because he built like that. He knows his game. And me, being a filthy, disgusting, devious, and diabolical cage loyalist, I was playing Sora. And he got my number. He read me. He read me like a book. He didn't like devour me in the same like I didn't suddenly start hallucinating. He didn't start we don't have to call the ref. He did not start transforming on the pitch, but he did get me. And I had a moment like this. I didn't like fall to my knees. I had to open my wallet though, and that made me very sad. But I do understand those moments of like, you gave it everything. You even made choices that you didn't think you would make. I remember that. I made some weird behind plays, and they did clutch me some games. Like the last 2 of the games I got off him on that 1st to 10. Those are very specifically because I was like, he is reading me too well. Let me see if I can do this, and it worked. I did some crazy. I'm bad. I don't typically be edge guarding too crazy, even with Sora. But I was like, I gotta go out. I gotta like some of these kills. I gotta go confirm. So I went out and did it. And this is Kaiser, right? Like he gave everything. Destroyed himself live on the pitch, worked with a team he had never bothered to work with or acknowledge before, threw away the one person that was still on his side, only to have that person be ripped away from him, just as it was promised all that time ago, and then be used. It do be hurting like crazy, especially on live TV, on live television. That's crazy. But actually, you know what's crazier? Falling to your knees on live television over a 17-year-old when you're a full-grown man. Kaiser, that's actually absurd. But let's see. He devoured everything. When Ness got the ball, he didn't stop like me, but swiftly moved to the next action. We became an obstruction. Okay. So see, this is something I was a little confused about. It's when I explained it in a comment. Someone explained it in a comment on yesterday's video. But we became an obstruction, and in his lean run, he shook off Rin's effective 4-meter range. In that moment, Ness possessed an imagination different from before, and made an amazing pass and the best route for it. He would cheap at everything on this point, and got away! Lastly, he paired the drive pass coming from behind with a direct shot, and made the best shot. Okay. Because that's the one thing I was wondering. I was wondering where Kaiser was. It was literally what I said. It was literally what I said. He was actually directly over... So that's interesting. I think... But then again, maybe I just couldn't see it, because admittedly, I did a horrible job recording last chapter, and the quality was a little bit off, so I couldn't even properly tell it. So in that case... They literally must have been like this. I always thought Kaiser was a bit bigger than Shido, but Shido's a big guy. So they must have literally been overlapped by like this. Especially if this is to be believed. Because we see the Kaiser, quote unquote, the fake Kaiser, ref he's transforming. We see him blitz past those two last chapter. So literally what must have happened, Shido, like Kaiser in his moment of hesitation, confused about why Ness was doing it and trying to figure that out, must have froze. Shido went to cut him off entirely from the pass, leading to him overlapping him, blocking his line of sight, and then Isagi dipped around those two. But since those two were perfectly overlapped, like he mentions here, Rin didn't have an easy... He would either had to run the curve around those two, which in his delayed instinct wasn't going to happen, or break through those two, or run the other way around to try and cut off the pass. Also simply wasn't happening. It was a fast drive pass. That's the thing. That's the main thing that Ness pointed out, that ultimately, since it was so much faster than what's usually good for Kaiser Impact, you had those nanoseconds to react. You literally, that's the whole thing that I was talking about, adapting the fastest to awakenings and mutations. He sensed it, he moved. He didn't even think. The moment he saw the trajectory, he was like, I'm gone. And we know he's not the fastest in Blue Lock, but he's basically gotten up there. I'd say the only characters who are like definitively faster than Isagi at this point are your Rins. Obviously Kaiser, but Rin, Kaiser, Chigiri, Zantetsu, Yukimaya, and Corona. Presumably those are the only characters that are just straight up have higher speed stats than Isagi. I'd say he's probably at this point... I mean, Baro's extremely fast, though. Baro is pretty fast, and Shido's actually faster. Shido, in fact, is a speedster, as people pointed out to me. I forgot about that fact. Shido technically is a speedster. So characters like those are still faster than him, but with it really can take two steps. Anyone who's run track knows a bad, or not even bad, a mediocre start can kill you. Especially if you're a person who heavily relies on your start. Personally, back when I was doing sprinting, I was a kick merchant, dog. Like, give me 50 meters or give me death, bro. Like I was 100% a kick merchant. So like the starts, while I wanted them to be good, I always sucked at them. So I mainly focused on like that drive once I got to that point and just and I'd zoom off. But I knew, and some of my rivals, quote unquote, we were teenagers, but we weren't all equals, dog. But my rivals, one of them, he was a start merchant. And I knew if he ever had a bad start against me, I won that race. I didn't have to think about it. If he got a good start, and I was running good that day, then it was a straight 50-50 on who was going to win. But, hey, I even beat the one, and this is the king. This is a king? What? This is a thing that happened once. He was the second fastest guy, and I was the fourth fastest guy. And I beat him in one of our races because he had a bad start. Because he was the second fastest guy, but he was faster than me by like 2 or 3 steps. So, you mess up that start, 2 or 3 steps of delay, half a second of delay in any type of dash, but especially short range dashes like the one you just did, or even the 100-meter dash, that can cost you. That can kill you. Just a few steps off. Someone reacts that literal fraction of a second faster, and you can pull off things I shouldn't pull off. I shouldn't be that guy that day. He's faster than me. Probably still faster than me to this day. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he stopped running. But hey, so did I. So like legit, he's faster than me to this day. But even still, I beat him that one time because it takes those nanoseconds of reaction. And like Kaiser said, Isagi didn't stop to think. He didn't stop to pause. He beamed. He zoomed. And that makes sense. Let's see. But that is something I could do too if I read Ness's mind. You know how crazy your foresight and understanding of people has to be? That a mental peer to you is like you literally read man's mind, bro. You read man's mind. That's great. The level of psychological awareness you have is top of the line. Like, I don't know. I think that's crazy. For Kaiser of all people to be like, if I read Ness's mind. Like, bro said, not if I had reacted to the playwright, not if I had to stop the thing. No, literally, if I had read his mind like my glorious demonic king Isagi Yoichi had, I could have done it. But he couldn't. He couldn't. And you know what? Someone pointed out something fantastic. Right? Ultimately, the idea that Ness still being loyal to the perfect ideal of Kaiser, yet evolving past his original servitude of him, is the perfect spot for this character to be at. And also is unironically the best spot for Kaiser, because like I kept reiterating before this, and I'll reiterate in the last review, and I'll reiterate it again, Kaiser's not playing with Isagi anymore. He's not playing with Kyo anymore. He's not playing with Raichi or anyone who would directly support him from BM anymore, because that was all part of Isagi's system. He needs someone like Ness. So ultimately, Ness's character development was never going to end either here or with him not supporting Kaiser anymore. Because without Ness, he's not nothing, but he needs something. And ultimately, this evolved Ness, who's focusing on an evolved Kaiser, is going to work much better for Kaiser in his off-screen development in comparison to a Ness who had truly broken free. So unironically, the parlay, it hit, but it couldn't have hit in the way I wanted it to hit, because that would contradict the story structure. Like, too many things have to change. This is appropriate. But let's see. Kaiser. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I gotta stay away from the mic. But see, Ness most likely made a pass not to the old me, but to the new, evolving me. Which is even crazier, right? Because, like, going with the whole idea of, ref, he's shapeshifting, get him off the pitch. The original Kaiser that Isagi said was the best and most ideal and, in fact, evolved version of his own playstyle isn't even the one that Isagi perfectly replicates and surpasses here in this moment when he breaks away from it. He technically, in this moment, surpassed the evolved Kaiser perfectly. The evolved Kaiser already has an evolved version of Kaiser Impact, an evolved version of his field acuity. He has evolved everything, and Isagi still let past that. Now, of course, is Isagi actually pound for pound 100% better player than Kaiser? I still wouldn't say that, just like I wouldn't say that Isagi technically has surpassed Rin or Baro. Like just overall pound for pound individually, if I'm putting up stat sheet by stat sheet. But overall, I'm still even kind of like wanting to take Kaiser because Kaiser's really, really good. But I think Isagi, he may have earned a complete overall evolution. Let's see. But to the new, evolving me. But I got angry and stopped, thinking that a swine couldn't change. And that's that big thing. It's the idea. It was Kaiser's inability to accept every human's capacity for change and evolution. Of course, changing spontaneously is difficult. It is hard. It is strange. And habits are habits for a reason. It is hard to break out of them. Trust me. I am still addicted to sugar to this day. The cereal companies, they got me. Like they put your boy was, admittedly, I haven't had it in literal years. I think about it. When was the last time I actually had Lucky Charms or Frosted Flakes? Heck, even Honey Nut. I haven't eaten cereal. But then again, I just don't eat breakfast. Is that bad? Well, I think it is. I've heard so much about it being bad. I don't eat breakfast anymore. But like, it actually may have been literal wholesale years since I last had like cereal or oatmeal or anything. Now I'm just, if I do have breakfast, I'm making like eggs and bacon and like toast and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not really sitting down and eating cereal. But with it being the case, your boy is hardline, hardcore addicted to sugar. Sugar. I need that sugar. Your boy is. I'm not gonna sit here and try to deny it. I am. That is your boy, and it is hard to like work around and rebalance it and like just think about it in different perspectives in order to change yourself. But you always got to have that chance, especially in like any sort of professional field. Not just, obviously it's very important on the pitch for blue lock and like that, but just in life, be wary, because not only will you never fully understand the perspective of another person, because you'll probably never fully understand the perspective of yourself, as you yourself are reflected in many different ways to others and even to yourself. Like, I can't sit here and confidently say I fully understand myself as an individual. I got like maybe 75%. I don't know what the rest of the 25% is. Subconscious, I don't know what that fella be doing. But with it being the case, always, especially in like, pay attention to people and pay attention to how and what paths they could take to evolve to help or hurt you. Even if, and this is the thing, and notably, this is something that I didn't even personally come up with. This is, or at least not initially. It was just me and my best homie of multiple years now. I'm not gonna say how long, because I'm gonna reveal how old I am. I'm freakishly old. But we were talking one day, and he was like, we always gotta think and consider and evolve and reflect back on ourselves. And I was like, yeah. And also, you think we should probably reflect on each other too, right? Like just think about this and think about what ways we could either help each other evolve or what pitfalls we've fallen into before and do that. And we thought about it and we were chatting. Ultimately, we thought about the ways and ended up talking about the ways that he could help me in terms of his own development and how that would reflect onto me. And I could help him. Also, the same ways how we could drag each other down. And that's why, in a lot of aspects, things that we used to do together, we don't do anymore. Like, for example, when I first started going to the gym a while back, like, it was a while back, like, literal years at this point, I was like, you come with me. We go together. And we went together for a while, but then one thing or another happened and he didn't go. But since he didn't go, I didn't go. And then there was a time where he went and I didn't go. And we just separated. And ultimately we're like, whatever. And then fell off the gym. So now, that was a case of our codependency on each other to go complete a healthy action not working out. So now, what does he do? He exercises and walks and does his own thing on his own time, just like I exercise and walk and do my own thing on my own time. Just because in that moment both of us understood in that moment, we need the ability to evolve, and it'd be cool to do it with somebody else, just for like the Naruto story arc of it all. But at the same time, it was the possibility that either of us could not go because the other didn't go, and that held us back. So now we go entirely independently. And that's those cases. You always gotta pay attention. Pay attention. That's obviously like a personal life thing and like a health thing. But even in your professional life, always pay attention to what people can do for you and to you. It's a dangerous double-edged sword. Let's see. Was that why I lost? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Shido was on you, but, like, if you reacted fast, you probably could have gotten off Shido, especially with your shot range. Kaiser, yeah, that was a big portion of, if not 100% why you lost. I was like, no, that's not it. Really? Could have fooled me. I would have said that's it. First, and the biggest reason, was playing with Isagi. Really? Really? I mean, maybe, but I think y'all kind of bolstered each other, didn't y'all? Like y'all did just flat out make each other pound for pound better overall. I'd say I wouldn't really say that was the reason, unless he means it in the same sense that I meant it with my friend, where like ultimately by relying on somebody else so much, you sort of that's the thing. He sacrificed maybe a little bit too much, but then again, it was his individuality that cost him the game. So I don't think I can blame Isagi for that. Let's see. Was playing with Isagi. It was too much fun. What? Wait, what? It was too much fun? This euphoria, the endless Yeah, Kanashiro Sensei. There ain't no Kanashiro Sensei. Kanashiro Sensei, you made me get the belt out. Kanashiro Sensei. Hold on. Kanashiro. I know this just woke up like 15 degrees of trauma in some of my viewers. I'm sorry about that. I know when I occasionally hear this sound and I'm not doing it, it sends fear into my heart and soul. For reasons. If you don't know the reasons, don't ask. But, well, you can ask. And someone will answer. Maybe, but with that being the case, this euphoria, the endless possibilities, they slowed me down. Y'all remember when someone else partnered up with somebody so equal to them, if not beyond their caliber, that they literally had so many options that they couldn't focus? And that other person was there to tell them, shut out the distractions, focus up, lock in. Y'all remember that? Because I remember that. I remember. All the way back in Peak Shine and Man Shine. What happened? Isagi Yoichi got access to Noah, a character of extreme power and status and ability, to the point where he saw all these beautiful, bright, different futures and was having such a good time playing that he literally was like, I don't know which path to take because there are so many paths and options. And Noah was there to guide Isagi in that moment to be like, focus on the cleanest and easiest one. What's the one that drives you the most? What's the one that you can invest the most in? Kaiser didn't have that. He didn't have that. He only had the euphoria. He didn't have the person there to focus him down. And honestly, Lil Kizzle, I bet that was even subconsciously intentional by Isagi. Where he's like, I want this man to enjoy this idea, enjoy this part of this game and this whole existence so much that he gets distracted, that he gets overwhelmed, that too much thought happens. Once again, what I mentioned earlier with the difference in steps, taking a couple seconds. Even like there is such a thing as analysis paralysis. Too many options, too many things happening at once. I don't know about y'all, but occasionally on some random Friday or some random Saturday, and weirdly some days on a Monday, my YouTube sub box will go absolutely crazy. Like, a guy who I haven't seen post in months will post some straight banger. A person who posts like every week, he'll post another banger. The Ink Tank will randomly upload despite being on an upload hiatus, and they'll post a banger. And like, I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, darn, I have this 5-star meal in front of me, and I need a YouTube video to go with it. What is a man to do? Like, I'll get analysis paralysis, and the food will get cold. When you have too much peak in front of you, it can cause those moments of delay that'll cost you in the long run. You know how many times I nearly let my food, and I say nearly, because your boy loves hot food. Like, I'm hot as in like put spice in it, and hot as in like fresh off the pan, fresh off the fire, whatever. Boy loves some hot food. But I do have those moments where even those seconds of delay, the meal could have been so much better if Curl the Artist didn't drop an Ink Tank video. And the only reason the Ink Tank video is coming up to me so recently is because that literally happened. Like, he just dropped like the Tennis and Family Tree video. Admittedly, there were some other bangers that dropped, but that was just so shocking to me because, like, gang, you said you were seriously on an upload hiatus. What do you mean you're here with a heavily edited video? I'm sorry, I love the Ink Tank. But that being the case, I like that. I like that a lesson that Isagi learned ultimately benefited him, but since Kaiser never learned that lesson, it came back to haunt him. On 2 levels. It wasn't just Ness doing something unexpected that fit the more evolved version of him, not the old version of him, showing that Kaiser's inability to respect humanity's consistent ability to evolve and change for or against him. He didn't just acknowledge that, but also simply the idea that he was having so much fun, and he was so well engaged, and he had so many options, so many choices, and so locked into this idea of working with Isagi that it actually bit him in his butt. Because he was so lost in that feeling, lost in that connection, lost in others, that he wasn't able to break himself down to nothing. Like they mentioned at the end of the last chapter, he wasn't able to turn himself completely into a tool for victory because he was having too much fun working towards that victory. It's crazy. But honestly, I'm sorry, I'm going so many different analogies and stories, but this chapter's got me thinking. It's why, even though your boy loves to rest and relax and take his time and do stuff, I love a good busy day of work. When I go into the office, sit down, lock in, and I have nothing to do but lock in, time flies. Like, there have been days where I've gone in and I've been swamped and I just go in. Yes, do you need something? Okay, give me 5 minutes. Here, that's done. Oh, so 5 o'clock already? Like legit, I love those days when it's just straight busy and I don't even have to think because I'm actively engaged in my work to the point where like time just flies. That's the kind of thing. Sometimes ultimately by locking in and destroying yourself essentially by not listening to music on any of those days. I'm not like scrolling or anything. I'm just focused in. I get to the end result. Getting off of work a lot easier and a lot quicker than if I were to have distracted myself. In this case, Kaiser, he just couldn't destroy himself fast enough. He was too, in a way, ironically enough, he was too human. He was too human when he was disregarding other people's humanities and enjoying himself too much. And that's such a shame, Michael Kaiser. Let's see. I came back to the origins of malice and just taking away. I was supposed to come back to 0, but I dove into that freedom that Yoichi gave. Oh, and you know what? I love that he's still calling him Yoichi. He's broken, dog. He's broken. Man, he's gonna misplay with Isagi so bad. I need those two. Like honestly, let me tell you the long-term game plan. I mentioned it before. I want U20 World Cup to go. I want Isagi and crew to lose. I want them to split up and then come back for real World Cup. And the reason I want them to split up is so we can have Isagi get an offer from La Real, just like Kaiser has an offer from La Real, just like Say already plays for La Real, so we can get that demonic behind trio all working together. That would be crazy. But with that being the case, I love it. I love it. And you know what? I talked about how last chapter kind of ended up playing into my parlay because Ness was literally dragged into Isagi's stall, subconsciously being pulled into his magic. And Kaiser fell hook, line, and sinker, just like Ness. Just like Ness. He fell into the freedom, fell into the magic of the mania that truly is the demonic hero king, Isagi Yoichi. Well, let's see. Oh, speaking of the man, and he shall appear. Kaiser, is Ness special to you? Oh. Isagi, are you just now realizing the BL allegations? You've spent a lot of time with Nagi and Ryo, buddy. You know they aren't even allegations anymore. At this point, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Come on now. Oh, Ness is special to him, alright. Real special. But Ness, Kaiser's way more special than Ness, if you know what I mean. Let's see. To me, he's just an equal player who hid his possibilities. But in that last moment, you treated him differently. Based on your relationship, you deemed him worthy. It's the ability to understand, and it is admittedly to some degree the one thing, and this is why I appreciate my home, because me and my boy that I've known for a while, we can get real like solid, mean, lean, and analytical with it, no matter like how crazy and devious and diabolical the conversation gets by going that way. But ultimately, sometimes you gotta reduce people to their abilities, dog. Like, and essentially, think about it. If you've ever been in a scenario where you had to choose people based on their qualifications without having met them, you know exactly, you're essentially doing what Isagi did. All Isagi had in this moment was Ness's abilities and the possibilities that Ness could bring to him. That's all he had. In that moment, that's all he had to worry about, that's all he had to think about, that's all he had to register. And since he had all that data already, he simply had to work around the possibility of Ness working for him or against him. And on that 50-50, he gambled, and he won. So, in this lesson, ladies and gentlemen, here, on That Guy with the Pencil, we tell you, Isagi Yoichi wants you to keep gambling. But don't do that, because that's bad. Don't burn your money. But with it being the case, it's that ability to strip yourself and others down to numbers, abilities, tactics, skills. You gotta do that sometimes. You gotta do it. It's weird, but especially like for anyone who's in the professional world and either has had to do what I mentioned, like pick, or not even in the professional world. Like if you've ever had to work on a group project, sometimes you really do want to work with your friend on it, but you know your friend ain't good at that subject. So you got to strip it down analytically. You have to think about it. We're like, I know that so-and-so is really, really good at chemistry. I know my homie, who I would work on every other project with, isn't. Sorry, gang. I need this 100 right, and you pick appropriately. That's stripping down, regardless of relationship, acknowledging the person's skill set versus skill set. In that moment, to compare this, like what Isagi's mentioning here. Oh, look, yeah, he even says it. But, like what Isagi says here, in a moment where you chose your friend, even though they were the less optimal choice, you chose them based on your relationship, not their ability set in comparison to somebody else. And whether it be in school or in the professional world, there's a lot of times where you may have to just completely ignore whatever relationship or lack thereof you have with an individual. Simply because you know, based on the data you have, their skills may be better suited for something else or not suited at all. It's that 50-50 you gotta play. It's mean, it's human, it's inhuman, it's inhumane, if you will, to reduce people down to nothing but their statistics, their abilities, their skills. It's wrong. But you need to do it to succeed. Well, see, instead of becoming fully becoming a machine for the goal, you acted on your feeling. Yep. That's the last piece that decided the outcome between us. Yep. The ability to react and to input yet disregard certain amounts of information. There was too much personal thought in Kaiser's analysis, and thusly he undersold Ness's own value as an individual. Oh, that's all the right. Let's see. What do you want? Oh, Kaiser's like, I don't care about all that. All right, forget about all that. What are you here for? And what are you reaching that hand up for? That ends the contract for the one goal. Thanks for your hard work, my finest clap. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's cinema. It is cinema. Oh, jeez. Look at the gun on you, boy. Golly, golly. But it is cinema. Cinema. And he's on his knees like a good boy. A promise from well over, like it's been years. It has been multiple real life years. When did that chapter come out? We're on chapter 294. Neo Aegis League started when? Like the 150s? Do you remember? Do you remember going back in time? And what was Isagi designated as? A piece in Kaiser's progression. He was to be the clown of this great circus. But look who now is extending their hand to the clown who played their role. After he robbed everything down to his physical appearance. It's the best arc in the series, y'all. Like, I don't get me wrong, I have my many grievances, gripes, and issues with the Neo Aegis League. 100%. From its format itself to how certain characters get treated, I have my issues. But pound for pound, band for band, man for man, it's too peak. It's too peak at the peak. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm not painting the room white. We won't do that. And look at his sweaty hand, bro. Get your nasty hand away from me. But you know what? The thing I love about this the most? Isagi still doesn't respect Kaiser. That's the beautiful thing. Ultimately, it truly was a contract. It was pure logic. Even if, I think Isagi was even having fun with Kaiser. Just because he had an equal on a 100% level, in the 100% type of style and motivation. And essentially, he got a soft Noel Noah in Kaiser. But ultimately, he still understands, I don't like this dude. He still hates him. And beautiful. And he still hates him. And Kaiser's like, that's the thing. Their rivalry doesn't end here. They will still be enemies, and that's beautiful. That's what I like the most. This is the part I like the most. Where there's still enemies, there's still ops, and that has yet to change and likely never will. That's beautiful. Neo Aegis League. Final score 3-2. Oh, look at shit. You know, that's the thing. The one thing I'll give Shido, that man, he is not dripping at all, though, Shido. Very impressive lack of effort he put in this game. One sweat drop, that's crazy. But He does give his due respect. He ain't even mad at it. He's like, yeah, you know, you built like that, you dog. You built it. Rin, if you don't put that nasty, stupid, dumb bubblegum tongue away, dogs. Turn the predator eyes off. Get out of flow. You're trashed. You're not trashed. But, like, you lost, buddy. It's over. Champion. Final champion, BF. He gripping the fist. He's like, I don't even care you slapped away. I'm him. Let's see. 3-2. With that, the Neo Aegis League has come to an end, and right now, we will show the final salary rankings. Okay. I need to make that video this week. Uh-oh. I was gonna be the most quick, speedy, and sloppy rush video I've ever done. But, alright, the final rankings are already dropping. Oh, and we're going, episode Nagi foreshadowing? Okay, let's see. Oh, yep, and it's the end of the chapter. The final ranking will be revealed at last. The time goes back. And now in a different place, Nagi and Ryo's outcome is... Did they lose? I mean, I can't tell by these faces, but did they lose the bar chipper? Well, no, now he has the ball. Presumably he's about to score the final goal. But all right. Man, I yapped way too long. I still gotta go hit the gym after that. But why was that so weak? But a WW chapter, dog. From the character writing, to the character conclusions, to the story wrapping, to building, to the ranking reveal, to all that, to the celebration, everything. It's just straight P. It's just straight P. I don't want to hold y'all for too long. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave. We had fun. We had fun. In the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little teeny tiny notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below, where you can support me for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reactions here, the series I am to review, and free variations of all my videos. And if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also do a link to my Ko-Fi description down below, where you drop 5 beans for a short video, 20 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier, XZ, G Prosper, Zeta, and Brandon Payne. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our line art tier patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, and A+A. And then I'd like to give a huge thank you to our Ink tier members: Fine, Austin Wimberly, Euchiha, Yuki Ally, and Carlo Alaimo. Then I'd like to give a gargantuan thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. Then I'd like to give another gargantuan thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Waki Minoz, and Idemokami. Then I'd like to give a final legendary top of the line thank you to our That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, the glorious king, Calvin Elder.